Welcome to the deep dive. You know that moment you're just doing your thing online, maybe searching for something obscure, then bam, a digital roadblock. You're hit with a message about unusual traffic, often from a major service like Google. It's, well, perplexing, maybe a little alarming, and it instantly leaves you wondering, what on earth just happened? Is it me? Is it my computer? Today, we're pulling back the digital curtain to unravel this specific mystery. We're diving into a real Google support page message, a tangible example of this kind of warning. Our mission isn't just to define unusual traffic at a basic level, but to really understand what it means in the sophisticated landscape of online security. Why do these systems flag it? What are the nuances there? And what crucial insights can we gain about how online services protect themselves and, by extension, protect you, the user?
Yeah, and it's fascinating because this seemingly straightforward error message is actually uh, quite rich with information. It offers a genuine window into the complex layers of online security. It's not just some technical hiccup. It really reflects the constant evolving battle against misuse and also the implicit terms of service that govern our digital interactions. So understanding this isn't just about troubleshooting a block. It's about appreciating the vigilance required to maintain online integrity in this increasingly interconnected world.
Right. So picture this. You're just trying to look up, I don't know, the capital of Turkmenistan, a perfectly normal request, and suddenly you're hit with this digital brick wall. The message, and this is verbatim from Google's support page, reads, "Our systems have detected unusual traffic from your computer network. Please try your request again later." It's like a bouncer at a club just told your entire IP address to leave.
Exactly. And the gravity of that statement is precisely what we need to unpack. The system isn't merely detecting a high volume of requests, right? Which might be legitimate, like heavy research or something. Instead, it's classifying it as unusual, specifically because these requests appear to be in violation of the terms of service. Now, that is a critical distinction. It moves beyond just quantity to a question of compliance, of behavior that goes against the established rules for using the service. It's a flag for something specifically problematic, often indicating automated activity.
So it's not just too much, it's the wrong kind of too much.
Yeah.
Okay. And the immediate response is a temporary block then.
Exactly. The message does offer an immediate, albeit temporary, resolution. The block will expire shortly after those requests stop. This highlights the system's reactive, sort of self-correcting mechanism. It's designed to cease the protective measure as soon as the perceived threat or unusual activity from your network subsides. The goal is mitigation, not permanent banishment, but it certainly prompts you to figure out the underlying issue.
Okay, so you get this blunt message. My immediate thought is, wait, how can Google systems even tell the difference between my legitimate, maybe fast searching and something genuinely unusual or, malicious? What's the thinking there?
That's the core question, isn't it? And Google isn't just guessing. They've identified very specific patterns. The source material actually provides a clear breakdown outlining several potential culprits. And these aren't just generic examples. They reflect the most common, sometimes sophisticated, patterns their systems are specifically designed to identify. First up is malicious software. Now, this isn't always about outright data theft, like you might think. Often, it's about stealthily enlisting your device into a botnet to perform large-scale automated tasks, things like click fraud, maybe credential stuffing attempts, or even distributed denial of service, DDoS, attacks basically overwhelming a server with traffic. The key insight here is how sophisticated these bots can be. They try to mimic human-like errors or vary their patterns just enough to evade simpler detections. But ultimately, they generate that telltale unusual footprint through sheer volume or sequence anomalies. Your computer becomes an unwitting participant in these high-volume suspicious activities.
Right, so your machine essentially becomes a digital zombie, controlled remotely. Yikes. But what about something maybe more common, like browser extensions? Could my favorite ad blocker or productivity tool actually be the problem?
Absolutely. That's the next category they mentioned. Browser plugins or scripts. Many of us use extensions for convenience, right? But even legitimate ones can be compromised, or maybe just poorly designed, or contain hidden functionalities that generate automated requests in the background. Perhaps it's a script that refreshes a page too often, or an analytics tool that inadvertently sends out unusual pings at a machine-like pace. These can mimic bot behavior, triggering the same automated defenses designed to protect against web scraping or other illicit activities.
So even well-intentioned software can cross that line if it's not behaving quite right. Okay. And then there's the shared network issue. This one always catches people off guard, I find.
It really does. It's a particularly common scenario, and one many people overlook. It involves sharing your network connection. So if you're on a home Wi-Fi, an office network, or even a public hotspot, and a different computer using the same IP address may be responsible, well, your entire network can get flagged. This means that even if your computer is behaving perfectly, someone else on the same shared internet connection could be running malicious software, maybe a problematic script, or just engaging in suspicious activity online.
So essentially, if your teenager is, I don't know, accidentally running some bot script on their laptop while gaming, your entire family's internet access could get temporarily blacklisted. Talk about an awkward dinner conversation.
Precisely. That's exactly it. The block applies to your connection as a whole because, from Google's perspective, all that internet traffic appears to originate from the same public-facing IP address.
Right.
The network's collective reputation is basically at stake.
Wow, okay.
And finally, the message points to using advanced terms that robots are known to use, or sending requests very quickly. This taps into the nature of how bots operate. They often employ very specific, sometimes unusual query structures designed to extract data, or they make requests at an incredibly rapid, inhuman pace. Now, even if a human user is genuinely behind these actions, maybe a researcher doing highly granular searches very fast, or someone using highly technical, uncommon search operators, the automated defenses have to prioritize the integrity of the service. The system is fundamentally designed to prevent large-scale data scraping or denial of service attempts. And sometimes legitimate but, well, bot-like behavior gets caught in that net.
It's quite a lot of potential pitfalls, but the message isn't just vague. It includes some very specific technical details, IP addresses, and even a precise timestamp. For someone trying to troubleshoot this, how significant are these digital fingerprints?
Oh, they're absolutely critical. These technical details are essentially the forensic data of the event. The message specifically lists a public-facing IP address, 66.102.6.45. For anyone trying to diagnose this, that IP is your network's fingerprint, right? It's the address Google systems pinpointed as the source of the suspicious activity. It tells you exactly where the perceived threat originated in the broader internet.
And then there's that curious additional bit, 192.178.15.105. That really stands out. It seems like more than just a basic error message detail.
Yes, that's what's truly intriguing, the 192.178.15105 notation. While our source doesn't fully unpack why these two are presented as not equal, for a network professional, this immediately suggests something more complex. It could be indicating, say, a proxy server, maybe a VPN, or some kind of multi-stage routing. It might even be Google systems identifying an internal network address that's distinct from the external public IP they're blocking. It strongly hints at potentially sophisticated attempts to mask traffic origins and Google's efforts to still identify underlying network anomalies. They might even be differentiating between perceived internal and external sources.
So it's almost like a clue that the traffic might be trying to hide its true path, and Google is sort of signaling, we see this, and then there's the timestamp.
Yes, the timestamp. 2025-08-24T 12.39.48Z. That precision, down at the second in Coordinated Universal Time, UTC, is absolutely invaluable. For anyone trying to forensically review their own logs, their network activity, or even just figure out what programs were running on their computer at that exact moment, that timestamp allows for pinpointing the anomaly with incredible accuracy. It's essential for diagnosis.
Right. And just to clarify something, the URL where this message actually popped up, which was https://support.google.com, accounts thread 217982643, how to turn off safe search on Android DAC phone.hleacn. That specific page isn't the cause of the block, is it?
Precisely. That's an important point. The content of that specific support page about turning off safe search on an Android phone, that's not what triggered the block. Rather, this is simply the destination the user was trying to access when their network generated the unusual traffic that flagged Google's security systems. The block is purely about the traffic itself, the pattern of requests, not the content being sought.
Okay, that makes sense. So after all this decoding, how does understanding this very specific Google message actually help you, the listener, in your everyday online life, especially for an audience that's already pretty knowledgeable about the digital world?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it becomes clear that such messages are rarely, personal accusations. Instead, they're highly automated, quite sophisticated security measures. They're designed to protect the integrity of vast online services, like Google Search itself. And by extension, they protect millions of other users from potential spam, abuse, or malicious activity. The system is simply responding to perceived threats or deviations from expected, legitimate user behavior based on complex heuristics. It's essentially a guardian at the gate, trying to maintain the health of the entire online ecosystem.
And that guardian isn't just about preventing external threats. It seems like it's also making us more aware of our own digital footprint and perhaps the vulnerabilities potentially lurking within our own networks.
Absolutely. For you as an individual user, encountering such a message should probably prompt a valuable, proactive check-in with your own online environment. It's a signal. Maybe look for any lurking malicious software. Perhaps review your browser extensions for any that might be acting unusually, or even consider if someone else on your shared network might be inadvertently causing the issue. It fosters a greater awareness of your digital hygiene, the complexity of your digital footprint, and the potential impact of everything that runs on your devices and connections. It's a powerful reminder that your online actions, and even those others on your network, have consequences that these vigilant systems are designed to detect and mitigate.
You've really highlighted the underlying architecture behind what seems like a simple message, but I wonder, does this vigilance ever cross the line? Does it end up impacting legitimate users with these automated blocks, forcing them to jump through hoops?
It's an inherent tension, isn't it? These systems have to be designed for massive scale to protect billions of queries daily. The trade-off for that broad protection is that sometimes, yes, legitimate but highly unusual user behavior can mimic malicious patterns. That's likely why the block is temporary and why they provide some diagnostic information. It's more of an invitation to self-diagnose rather than a definitive condemnation. It's a constant balancing act between robust security and minimizing those frustrating false positives. And the systems are continually learning, trying to get better at telling the difference.
That's a crucial point. So, to wrap up, a seemingly technical error message about unusual traffic is actually a pretty rich indicator of how online services monitor, protect, and enforce their terms. It can be triggered by anything from hidden malware and compromised browser extensions to the collective impact of a shared network, or even just legitimate but bot like user behavior. It's a fascinating peek behind the curtain at the silent sentinels of the internet.
And it definitely raises an important question for all of us, I think. As our devices and networks become increasingly interconnected and these automated systems become ever more vigilant, how much agency do we truly have in controlling the traffic our digital lives generate? And what responsibility comes with sharing those connections in an increasingly monitored online world? Something to think about the next time you connect.